But I'm a Jersey girl. Don't get it twisted. Jersey girl in the house. Organic chef. I'm out. So this is your girl, Organic Chef. I'm about to go get some groceries from the grocery store, and I'm actually here at Kroger. So, what's your routine? Like, I got my mask, I got a backup mask, I have my handy wipes to wipe down my cart and my hands upon entering and upon leaving. This is a whole new thing that you have to do now, since COVID. So how are you guys doing it? What's going on, y'all? This is your girl, Organic Chef, getting it in the kitchen as usual. Look at me bumping. I ain't got enough room. This kitchen's too small, don't you know? Anyway, we're thinking about the new year, thinking about eating healthy. Y'all all know what you do. Every time the new year comes, December 31st, everybody got to do their New Year's resolutions, right? And it usually almost always includes some type of health regimen, whether it's changing your lifestyle and your diet of what you're eating, or it's doing more workout, doing more cardio, doing something more physical, just trying to do some new things and incorporate them for the new year. So let Organic Chef Cappy help you do that. We're going to do some quick cooking. I'm making a quinoa, which is not a grain, it is a seed. And I just had some mixed vegetables here in my house, what's available. So my slogan, use what you got to get what you want, right? To create healthy meals. So come on back, we'll go over these ingredients and we'll talk about what we're doing today to live better and to live healthier. Before we get started today, we're going to meet with nutritionist Naya Bay.
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday!
How's everything?
Everything is well. It's been a beautiful day.
Yes, it has.
We're perfect day for some delicious food and fun and talk.
Absolutely. So, the topic today is seeds and nuts. I think I originally had nuts separate, but I think of them as one and the same. When you think about food and eating, how we use them, especially when you're talking about a vegan vegetarian diet, seeds and nuts play a really, really big component, and some other things, but I'm not going to mention them because we're not talking about them. So seeds I found to be very interesting. It says here that they may also help to reduce blood pressure, and it follows by a group of studies that were done. Also, another good source of omega-3 fats, and good at help at lowering your blood sugar, reducing risk of heart disease, and is good for weight loss. A lot of people mistaken quinoa for a grain, but it is actually a seed. Which also has a lot of good, uses in meals, whether it's salads or meals that we cook that can be healthier. Walnuts. It goes on and on. I know you're going to give me lots of information and me rattling off things that can be very, very boring. But I just wanted to talk about some things that I found that I see. I have a nice display here. I have some flax meal. I have some sun butter hemp seed mixture here.
Beautiful, delicious.
I've got some walnuts, which is customary for this time of year, and all.
Absolutely.
And here, local to Georgia, I got my Georgia pecans.
Yes.
And I also have some raw almonds. Now, I keep
Wonderful.
talking about when I went to my Firm Life and I got my results back for my nutrient levels and what I'm lacking and what I need. And I highlighted some things um, that were said to help me for the things that I was lacking. So almonds, quinoa, anything that helps it, my digestive enzymes. What else? Hemp seeds. So these were just some of the things that came up and the recommendations for some nutrients that I need more of. So my first question for you today is talking about seeds and talking about being healthy. What makes it healthy for the human body? Seeds and nuts.
Well, first of all, Chef Kathy, I just have to tell you, I love, love, love your table. Um, you always have this unique way of feeding me, my eyes, as well as my belly. So thank you so much. In this in this conversation about seeds and nuts, and well, before I begin, let me apologize to you for no video. I keep clicking the button, but nothing is happening for me. In the meantime, I don't think it's on your side. It is a technical issue on my side because it's asking me to select another camera. However,
Okay.
I just wanted you to know that, which is why you have the still of me smiling. But please hear my smile and love.
It's a beautiful picture.
Girl, you should see me today. I'm so cute.
Work that camera, I won't see.
Girl. But back to the seriousness of hand. A part of, well, thank you for telling me that I'm beautiful. And ideally, ironically, seeds and nuts play a major part in that, whether you're vegetarian or not. So, and you say, well, why? What makes you beautiful? Seeds and nuts. Well, your skin uses the vitamin E. It uses the fat to produce hair, skin. It also gives your heart some of the energy that it needs to flow easily. So when we look at seeds and nuts as a component in our lives, most everyone has some type of seed or nut that they enjoy. For those people who have nut allergies, it can be a little bit more difficult to enjoy them. However, they are important. Why? So have you ever had a weird ringing in your ears, Chef Kathy?
Yes.
What that's a sign of is the nutritional deficiency for selenium.
Yes.
So selenium, when you have a deficiency of selenium, which is a mineral actually that is given to the nut from the ground, because it's actually a mineral, but it helps the ear equilibrium in our system. So when we're deficient in that, have you ever heard the term, it's like I have water in my ears?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that is an indication of vitamin E and selenium deficiency. So simply by enjoying raw nuts, you can heal yourself. On my website, on Facebook, 28 Days Sugar Addict Rehab, on Facebook, I actually detail a little bit about almond products that I want to delve into a little bit deeper. Like, for example, almonds, just 23 almonds, that's 1 ounce serving, was found to help individuals reduce the LDL, the bad cholesterol in their body systems.
Look at that.
Yes, change the diet, got the exercise in. Those were the patients who experienced a 45% decrease in their bad cholesterol in 3 weeks. So you can create.
That is significant.
Yes.
That is major. Wow.
Yes. It was 21 days. So we're talking about change. We're in the middle of this magnificent holiday season where there's so much food and overindulgence in sugar. As a nutritionist, one thing that I've learned from my advanced studies under Dr. Sabi and Dr. Layla Africa. I call them my advanced teachers. One of the things that they allowed us the pleasure to do, especially during holiday season, was to know why you're indulging in certain things. And both of those teachers taught me that typically when you have a sugar craving, that is actually a physical lack of protein in your body. So rather than grabbing sugar, grab a protein. And instead of grabbing low quality protein, level up and get some better quality protein.
I love that. Level up, get some better protein.
Exactly.
Stop being cheap on your nutrition. Go all out.
Well, it's almost like, well, you know, one of the funnies that I always thought was that the Food and Drug Administration, they're in the same building for a reason. So the Food and Drug Administration, to the left, you go to food. To the right, you go to drugs. So if that same body is governing these two separate principles, but in the meantime, food is our medicine. How do we use food as our medicine? And we look at these seeds that you presented with us and these excellent meals. Almonds, 1 ounce equals 23 almonds, 21 days. So 1 ounce of almonds for 21 days will decrease your bad cholesterol up to 45%.
Hey, that was great info on our Zoom with Naya, but let's get back to cooking. I have some organic quinoa. We've got some multicolored carrots. I always have some left over because I'm making stock on a weekly basis, so let's use them so they don't go bad, right? I got some leftover trumpet mushrooms. Some small peppers, mini peppers. I got a spice mixture here of coriander, cumin, fenugreek, and some burdock root. And we'll talk more about the healthy benefits of those. 1 bay leaf. Some fresh ginger. Alderwood smoked sea salt. Shallots. A few dates. Baby spinach and arugula, because you gotta have your greens. And a few red potatoes. We're gonna keep that skin on, nutrients in the skins. And I made some alkaline garlic sauce, a recipe that I got offline. My homegirl Naya shared me some science knowledge about garlic and what it does to your brain. So they came up with, Dr. Sabi came up with a great component to add that fresh value that you would get from that potency of the garlic, the funkiness, and this is a nice garnishment that I will use at the end because I want to keep it alkaline and this is not going to be cooked. Let's get cooking. Okay, so we're going to start with our spice mixture. So I have already preheated up my pan and we're just going to release the oils. That's all we're doing. We're not trying to saute them. We're not trying to get it popping. We're just trying to release the natural oils. So what I will be doing next, I'll be using my coffee grinder to grind them down into a powder. So I can smell it. I can smell the cumin, the coriander, and I can start smelling it. So now those oils are being released because that's what I'm smelling. Done, son. Spices. You see it? Okay. So my spice mixture has been toasted. So we're doing good there. So now I'm gonna take my coffee grinder here Can you see it? Okay, so I'm gonna take my coffee grinder, which I keep very handy, and I use it to grind all types of stuff. But yes, I do grind my coffee beans as well. And this you can buy from any store, your Walmart, your Target, pretty much anywhere, Big Lots. It's a small appliance. So I'm just going to give it a whirl. It has like a nice pulsing feature to break it down. A little bit more. It smells so good. Okay. Take my spice mixture. This is it. It smells so good. It smells so good. So this is what we're going to use today in our cooking and at the end of our process. The efficacy and the potency of your vegetables, whole foods, seeds, nuts, it maintains its nutrient value when it's not cooked. So I want to still add that in to my meal. Fresh is best, right? So the next step we're going to do is we're going to start doing our vegetables. So we're going to start with our carrots. Grab a knife. So let's talk about some really, really good things that we have going on about some of the ingredients that we're using today. And I've kept my notes. So let's talk about burdock root. Burdock root is it's anti-inflammatory. Garbage bowl. It also detoxifies the body. It helps to heal the liver. Cut them in half. And it also helps to heal respiratory diseases. Good stuff, right? You know, just think and imagine if we ate healthy on a regular basis. Try to keep a raw content in what you eat, not just the garnish. You know, I guess a go-to for most people will be a salad. You know, it's what most people are familiar with when you say raw. So you can add your veggies to your salad. Like, a salad should not be constricted to just cucumbers, tomatoes, onions. You know, a salad is what you make it. You know, if you have people who are practicing a vegan lifestyle, you know, you'll see that, you know, a salad is not the only meal that they eat. And if they do eat a salad, it's chock full of vegetables, you know, that are nutrient dense. So don't just have a salad, have a salad. So I'm just gonna give these a rough chop. You want to keep them about the same size. So I like to use multicolored carrots because they're so beautiful, and it just gives your dish a nice pop of color. Carrots are full of beta carotene, you know, vitamin A, which is good for your eyesight. So I've kept the skin on because there is value in those nutrients in that skin. But like all produce, you should wash them. You don't want grit, grime, and dirt in your food. can clean your vegetables with some apple cider vinegar. Don't be shy. So the process of me cooking today is I'm cooking, but I'm cooking light. I'm not cooking to where my vegetables will be soft. I'm gonna retain those nutrients as much as possible. So now that we have that done, put in our bowl here. Next we'll do our carrots. Next we'll do our potatoes. Here's our carrots, chopped up really nice. Next, I've got 3 potatoes here. And I'm roughly gonna do them about the same size I did my carrots, because the consistency for them to cook down and to cook well is about the same. And same thing with your potatoes. You know, I used to work with a coworker, and she ate the potatoes crispy and raw. And if you get a good one, non-GMO, organic, let me tell you, it tastes great. It has a nice crisp taste to it. Don't knock it till you try it. Try something new. It's the new year. Try something new. Step outside your comfort zone. You know, to live a healthy living lifestyle, you have to change how you're living, what you're incorporating into your everyday lifestyle of what you eat. So that means that you have to step outside the box sometimes. You have to try something new. And I don't know about you, but sometimes you get tired of eating the same types of meals, the same type of flavor profile, and you just want to mix it up a little bit. So I love fusion cooking. Why? Because I get to make it whatever I want. I can have an Asian flair to it, Italian flair, Latin flair, whatever I want. It's mine, I'm making it. So, you know, it's all about my taste. That's good enough. I'll cut it in half one more time. Ah, that's perfect. So remember, we have some quinoa. So right now, I'm rinsing my quinoa. You have to rinse it. It has a very earthy taste and feel. You know, so you have to rinse it. So we're gonna keep right on chopping. Can I get it right? So I got some trumpet mushrooms. And I'm just slicing them. That's it. Done, son. So I got chopping of most of the veggies done. I believe I have some peppers left. And the peppers, I'm not gonna do too much to them. Just cutting them down the center. And I'm just seeing if it had any seeds in it. I'm not really worried about the seeds like that though. So I want it all. Got some dates. So these dates are gonna give my dish a little bit of sweetness. And you'll see why later. So let's talk about cumin. So cumin, I've used, and an ancestor of that is the coriander. So I've used it a few ways in this recipe. And cumin is very unique in the fact that everyone hears about it, you know about it. It's in certain culinary lifestyles. But it's also good for lowering your blood pressure. It is also an anti-inflammatory. And like your friend Ginger, it also has iron, calcium, magnesium. And it helps to improve digestion. So I've got 3 anti-inflammatories in here. I got the burdock root. I got cumin. I've got ginger. Stop me, somebody. Okay, so I got my ginger here. A little bit more. Let's see if we can get it in here. Get a little more. So just like everything else, I'm leaving the skin on my ginger too. See that? Okay. So I've got my ginger puree. Done, son. So we're gonna start that cooking process because we definitely need to get that quinoa down. So we've got a pot of boiled water over here. And then we're gonna turn our other pan on medium high. So I've already rinsed my quinoa. I'm gonna take it in the strainer. It goes right in the pot. Easy peasy. To that, we're gonna add some grapeseed oil. Just about 1 teaspoon, that's it. Because I have a garnish to put on at the end that will also have the grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil, another good component. It's a very healthy, good oil. It helps your body to heal its wounds. Come on, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. So to the quinoa, I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. And now that gets a lid on it, let it come up, and then we're gonna let it simmer till it's nice and fluffy and it's cooked through. Fluffy. Nice and fluffy. Now more with nutritionist Nia Bay on Zoom.
Well, Alex, at 28 Days Sugar Addict Rehab on Facebook, I include a lot of tips on eating vegetarian, vegan, raw, the different gambit, because I myself have had the entire journey and I've enjoyed certain food lifestyles more than others, and I can tell you why. However, you know, what I've learned is that each journey, each food lifestyle may have a moment in your life, because you can't get sick doing one thing and still expect that thing that made you sick to make you well. So if you've been eating fried chicken for 32 years and you're sick, you're tired of being sick, that means maybe you can do a year without the fried chicken.
Absolutely.
And when I give up my fried chicken or my hamburger or whatever it is, where do I go? Well, many people go to seafoods, which help. But again, you have to make sure that you know how much protein you need per day to operate your life well. So when you move away from animal protein, it's so important that you go over into plant-based or seafood protein. Each lifestyle, plant-based lifestyle or seafood lifestyle, has its advantages, but what I've learned on a practical level, when I am vegetarian, I eat 2 for 1 of what I used to eat as an animal food eater. So in order, well, for the 3 ounces of steak that I might eat for portion control and weight maintenance, I could have 6 ounces of a plant-based protein or a seafood protein, because I went through a stage where in transitioning, I was always hungry. So how do I find ways not to be hungry?
And
What's my task?
That is a big, big thing when you're transitioning or you're changing your lifestyle for where you're eating. everybody wants to know what you do about your cravings. Now, I know it's different for everybody, but
Yes.
it's really, really big because you're trying to make up for that craving, what you're used to having, So I'm all ears listening to you, and I don't have no ringing in ears because I'm eating my nuts more than ever
Exactly.
before. So you tell me, can you please tell me how I can help myself not to have these cravings and to be so hungry?
Well, understand that cravings are in two parts. You have physical cravings, and
Mm.
then you have emotional, psychological cravings.
Ah,
So it's kind of like, which animal are you going to satisfy? And you have to kind of be very courageous to ask yourself, well, why do I want to eat that right now?
mm.
Um, I have a confession, but this is actually in my book, 28 Day Sugar Addict Rehab. This is in my book, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. 3 years, every day for breakfast, I would have a can of Pringles and a pineapple or root beer soda.
Girl,
Listen, you said I could tell you anything, so here it is.
I'm all ears.
So in the middle of the grieving and spiraling to my food addiction, my advanced teachers, Dr. Layla Africa and Dr. Sabi explained that when you crave sugar, your body needs protein. So I started to get back into that practice of actually feeding myself well. I encourage others to actually truly, truly adapt seeds and nuts into your lifestyle. Now, but the important thing that we have to remember, there are rules to this thing.
Mm.
When you're eating nuts and beans, you have to soak those products. Why? Why do I have to soak my nuts? I'm eating them raw anyway. Why?
It's good.
Well, this is the tea on the almond. Did you know that 85% of all almonds on the globe are produced in California?
Yes.
The other percentage is in Spain. What I've learned is that the state of California, you can have a natural almond even though it's been sprayed with 2 chemical preservatives. That almonds are natural. There's no GMO almonds or nuts yet.
Yet. Yeah.
Yet. Beans are a little bit trickier because Monsanto actually started patenting beans in 1972. And they were able to do that because glyphosate, which is a product that is primarily in Roundup, understanding Monsanto was a pesticide company.
I was
So
gonna I was gonna ask you to explain that because I don't think most people know, about Monsanto.
well, basically what they did in truth, it actually kind of started in the 70s and through the 80s. What they did, okay, if you were, say, I'm Farmer John and you're Farmer Joe. Well, Farmer John might spray Roundup on his crop. Well, my spraying of Roundup, once the wind blows it onto your crop, Farmer Joe, it's going to kill your crop.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But my crop is fine. But what Monsanto went back and excuse me, I get it so emotional, I can't even talk. But what they did was go back and seize Farmer John's property because his bean was resistant to the Roundup. So what they did was patent the group of pesticide resistant beans, and they became the biggest producers.
And can you please explain to me what's the major bean that they use that's in everything that we eat now, especially processed foods?
Well, because of the hibernation of the glyphosate, as well as another product that's used to spray. And I'm sorry, my mind kind of is skipping over. It's called PPO. But this particular product is actually sprayed to make foam cushions. So PPO is actually, that's the foam in your couch. That is sprayed on specifically almonds, and the state of California actually recognizes both products as cancer-causing agents.
Yeah,
So
this is what is so disturbing about that, because when you think about California and all the things that they don't allow you to do, they're very stipulous about letting people be aware of what's in stuff, including if there's any harsh chemicals that they made with shoes or boots. You know, so
well, how do we take care of ourselves in this climate where we are at the, I don't know, well, I was going to say hostage, strong word, but yeah, that's the only word. We're at the hostage, we are hostages to food manufacturers.
yeah.
You know, my advanced teachers, Dr. Africa and Dr. Sabi, suggested that we eat within 25 miles of where we lived. And later I heard it as a part of the common sense idea. But the reason that I was told we were to do that was because our bodies are actually accustomed to the environment we're in. We're not aliens in that 25-mile radius.
I want to ask you a couple of questions before we go. We talked about some great.
Let's get back to cooking, and we'll finish up with Nye later. So to my pan, I'm gonna add some grapeseed oil. I'm gonna set my pan up with all my ingredients here. So the vegetables that are gonna take the longest to cook, that's what's going in first. So that will be my carrots and my potatoes. But before I do that, I'm gonna put some of my dry spice mixture in there. So that flavor and that essence is for the potatoes and the carrots as well. You have to build flavor as you go. You know, you don't just season it one time, flavor it one time. You're building that flavor profile as you cook. So in go the carrots. Next will be our potatoes. I know what you're thinking, that's a lot, that's a lot. No worries, you're gonna do just fine. Now, I just wanna make sure all is evenly coated with my spice mixture and the oil. So I'm gonna steam these through. This is gonna help them to cook down and get done a lot faster. We're gonna let this evaporate, and then we're gonna add our mushrooms. There's nothing like a lid to hone in all that pressure and all that heat and all that moisture and all that steam to help my veggies cook faster, so a lid is going on it. When Beyonce put a ring on it, says put a ring on it, I say put a lid on it. Okay, so next I'm gonna start cutting up some shallots because this is gonna be part of my garnish for my dish. See, you thought I was gonna put this on in the beginning. Nope. Fresh is best. You know, I love food. I have an affinity for it. That's why I do what I do. But when you learn some particular things, you know, you have to start changing some things of the way you do things to be healthier. So I'm just going to cut my shallot up here. And I'm just going to give it a quick dice. Just want a mild flavor. I don't want it too potent and too strong. I do have my alkaline garlic sauce that I will be adding at the end of this. So this is just to bring my dish into harmony. Done, son. Check on our potatoes and our carrots, see how they're doing. It's been a few minutes. Yeah, baby, now we're cooking. You can smell those spices. Our carrots are starting to break down. I can see the color changing in our potatoes. Oh yeah, we're on point, we're on point. So as you can see, the steam is doing its job. Everything's working well. And the lid on it seems to work. We are cooking now. My quinoa is up to a boil. I'm now turning it down so it's down to a simmer. Let it simmer for the next 20 minutes until it's done. My potatoes and carrots are doing their thing. They're working it out under that steam, under that lid. That's how we're doing it. This is how we're doing it. So from that point on, I'm going to take my potatoes and put them in this bowl. And I'm going to saute my mushrooms and my peppers, get a nice vibrant color on them, and they will be rejoined back into the pan, and we'll finish it off with my seasoning and get it popping with that quinoa. Let's go, y'all. So we're back to our Zoom call with Nye. Let's hear what she's got to say, y'all.
Make sure you soak your nuts. The reason that you want to do that is that the water actually activates and softens the tiny kernel that's inside of the nut. You actually touched on the subject where you were saying, well, why does everything now have that granule of plastic in it now that our bodies have to struggle to break down? Well, portion of it is because our earth truly is polluted. One of the things that I've had to come into the greatest acceptance is that it's better for us to almost be seasonal eaters and to rotate our food out so that our body systems can have a moment to purge. Forget about what's happening around us. We actually have to do it ourselves. So make sure you soak your nuts. The longer, the better. If you soak more than 2 days or so, you're going to see sprouts happen. But that's okay, because if you want the sprout, cut that sprout out, throw it in a salad.
Yeah.
Nothing goes to waste in this world. If you want some bean sprouts, get a handful of beans of your choice. Throw them in some water. And I promise you, they will sprout fresh bean sprouts for you.
Awesome.
So water is the friend of seeds and nuts. Also, take advantage of quinoa as a protein substitute. You can have quinoa muffins for breakfast. They're awesome with.
Wait, you're getting ahead of me. Let me ask my questions.
Okay.
Do you eat? All right, so you gave us some great information, some great intel about food, where food comes from, how it is processed, and you gave us some great tips on how to use them in every day and about what's in the process of how they're being made and what we can do to protect ourselves from any harmful chemicals that might still be, on these seeds or on these nuts. And
well, this is the truth. You mentioned roasting nuts, and unless you're doing it yourself, I wouldn't buy roasted nuts because they're likely to be sprayed with preservatives, and that's peanuts, pecans. If you're gonna go raw, make sure you do exactly that. And if you're gonna roast them, do it yourself at home.
This package here, these are raw almonds. There's nothing added. There's no preservatives.
Indeed.
I keep it in the fridge because they do have natural oils in them.
Indeed.
So they stay a little bit longer. But when I look at the back, when you talk about grocery shopping 101, and reading labels, the only ingredient here is almonds. That's it.
Exactly. And one of the things about keeping it simple for our bodies is that it's actually okay. You know, the more words you have to pronounce to eat a thing, or the more like tongue twisters you have to say, you
I
got
get
to
it.
give yourself a break. As a part of the 28-day sugar addict rehab, I actually discuss additives and preservatives. So, those are choices. You have to kind of make the choice to stay woke. It's easy to get this information and go back to sleep, because the application, it can feel difficult. But
Absolutely.
remember, giving up any old habit, it's okay. It's supposed to be hard. And if you've been doing something for 20 years, it's not going to end overnight.
And it's
You're going
taking
to
a
have to
minute.
be patient
It's gonna
and let
take
it
a minute.
happen.
So my last question for you, because we're almost out of time, is you always have some great ideas. Hit me with some recipe ideas for seeds and nuts. What you got?
Well, you mentioned my favorite, quinoa. Quinoa is the most versatile seed in the world. Why? Why is quinoa so versatile? Well, on its own, it really doesn't have a flavor. So for those who try to cook it with water and they say, ew, it's nasty. Yeah, you just put water in there. So let me tell y'all my quinoa cheat.
Hey,
After rinsing my quinoa, and there's some that's pre-washed, but I'm from the
I still
country,
rinse it.
so
Still rinse it.
get your little strainer, put the little seeds in there and let it rock. It's okay. But I used veggie broth. So I use veggie broth as the flavoring agent for my quinoa. That
Nice.
makes it goes great as a side dish for dinner. If you decide you want it for breakfast, get that leftover quinoa from breakfast, add some egg in it, put some onion, a little bit of garlic, just flavor it up how you want to. Stick it in the muffin pan, put it in the oven for about 20 minutes. You'll have 6 or 7 muffins that you can enjoy that are protein based, that are delicious, and all of your family can enjoy one. It's a quick, we're not running out the door as much now, but when we get back on our grind and we're trying to make the world turn, quinoa muffins are a great way to start your day on a protein, plant-based breakfast.
I had leftover quinoa. I
Yeah.
had it for breakfast. Coconut milk, cinnamon, nutmeg, and some
Oh,
fresh
yeah.
berries. Done.
Delicious, delicious.
Or the healthy diet lifestyles that are out there, it always makes you feel you have to give up something in order to have optimal health. And it's
Well, you do.
completely not correct. Because for me, I feel that because I have a diet rich in whole foods and nutrients and vitamins, I'm actually treating my body better because I'm giving it more than what I was doing before. I have more nutrient dense value in my meals than I was
Yeah.
doing before.
What I'm saying is, Chef Kathy, I'm gonna piggyback with you. What you gave up was saggy, dried out skin. You
Ah,
gave up just a bad body. You just soaked in that beauty. Yeah, you actually do give up a lot to have a healthy lifestyle, nutrient-rich lifestyle.
I
You give
get it.
up illness. You
I
give up cranky bones. You
disease.
give up, well, your attitude may suck for a little bit, but your food ain't always the cause of that. Sometimes you just got to change your attitude.
I
But when
got
you
you.
when
You
you actually choose a nutrient packed lifestyle to help you go through just an action packed life, yeah, you actually give up the annoyances of telling people about, oh, my leg hurt, my arm hurt, oh, my head hurt. Girl, you hear that ringing too? Who's ringing? No, baby, it's just you. It's you.
well, what's I say? Oh, my ears are ringing. I'm about to get some money or somebody talking about me.
No, sister.
That's what we say, right?
No, you just might need to go ahead and,
Hands is
eat
itching.
some nuts.
Get some money.
The opportunity is yours, and for people like me in the 28-day sugar addict rehab, we're like a recovery plate for people who forget information, forget how to eat healthy, or, just need that support to be able to say, you know what, it's hard for me too, but we're here and we can make better choices.
So we're back and we're just about done. It's going right in the bowl. Woo! Hot like fire. Nice. Some of them have caramelized, so that's good. It's going to add an additional level of flavor. I'm going to turn this heat down just a tad. So to set our potatoes off to the side. So to this, we're going to add a little bit more of the oil. We don't want our things to burn. We're going to add our spice mixture that we made earlier. It smells so yummy. To that, we're gonna add our dates. Is going in. Ginger is going in. I want all my ginger. Give me my ginger. Okay. Next, I'm gonna throw in my shallots. On and popping up in here, y'all. So on and popping. So to that, I'm just going to my ginger and my onions. Everything has that flavor. Oh my gosh, this smells amazing. You gotta see it. So I'm just mashing it. All the flavors coming out. The ginger. It smells good. So to that, we're going to add just a little bit of water. This is going to create the sauce. If you have some type of stock, use that too. But water works just as good. So now I have a little bit of caramelization happening with those dates. And that's perfect. Nice. So to that, we're going to add a little bit of coconut amino acids. This is not only going to help the color, as well as with the dates, it's also going to help to color my mushrooms. In they go. Now, I haven't seasoned them. I haven't salt and peppered them. This is their flavor right here. I can smell those onions. I can smell those dates. It smells sweet. The caramelization is off the chain. So this is going to give them that color, that essence right there. So to that, I'm going to add just a little bit more water. And I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And these are going to cook till perfection. So our quinoa is there. So we're turning off that fire. Set it off to the side here. Next, we have our mushrooms. Don't that look good? All them juicy bits on the bottom. OMG. Oh, y'all wasn't ready. Y'all wasn't ready. Now I'm going to take some of that lime. I'm going to squeeze some fresh lime juice in there. Oh, yes, this is how we're getting down. Nice. Smells fat. Those are potatoes and our carrots. So our potatoes and our carrots are in. Now it's time to mix it all up. Oh yeah. You see those mushrooms coming through. Oh my goodness, it smells great. So here's where we're gonna add in some other ingredients. You gotta add in those peppers. Put it in just like that. So like I said to you before, there's certain things that we will be cooking all the way through. Other things we will not be cooking all the way through. Yum, yum, yum. So now I have our arugula and our spinach. I even cheated and I put a little parsley in here. Shh. Oh my gosh. Gotta see what this looks like. It looks so pretty. So let's give this a taste. I want to taste those mushrooms. Ooh, I think I got one. Oh my god. I taste a caramelization of those onions and the date. It just goes very, very well with those mushrooms, and I can taste the lime. The lime has just brightened up the whole dish. So this is what I was going for. So I'm gonna hit this with some Alder smoked sea salt. Because I haven't really put in any seasoning in as far as salt or pepper. We're gonna get some fresh cracked pepper. Cracked pepper. Can I get it right? Okay. So now we just want to mix that in. Oh, that smoke smells good. So if you ever ate pork, bacon, anything smoked, animal protein, that Alder salt gives you that mimic with that caramelized onions and those mushrooms. So it's kind of like that. So as you can see, it is all wilted down. All wilted down, y'all. Isn't that pretty? So beautiful. Look at that. Look at all those veggies. Look how them peppers just wilted. It's gonna be nice and fresh and flavorful. So I have my quinoa here, and it's going in the bowl. It's nice and steamy and hot. That's what you want. Let me help it along here. So to that, we're gonna add some of our sauce here. And we're just gonna toss it. Oh my God, it smells good. So as the quinoa is nice and warm, you know, it kind of activates those fresh ingredients, and I can just smell it. It smells so aromatic right now. So you know how I always say, let's plate up. So we've got our quinoa. It's about 1 cup right there. Make our plate nice and pretty. Set that off to the side for now. Got my trusted tongs here. Eating healthy and wellness doesn't have to not taste good. You know, whoever told you that, man, it lied to you. You know they be lying. So here we have our wilted veggies. I want that red to pop because it's the only one in there. This is what we're talking about. We've got our quinoa, which don't forget a seed. And then we have our potatoes and carrots, full of vitamin A, beta carotene. Then we have our roast potatoes. Then we got our rice from our mushrooms. Come on, man, stay with me. We've got our burdock root. We've got our cumin. We've got our coriander that helps anti-inflammatory to detoxify the body. It also helps to lower blood pressure. It aids in digestion and helps to heal respiratory diseases. This is where it's at. Healthy cooking. It's wilted down, so we're able to maintain the nutrients. Our vegetables aren't cooked all the way through, so it still has some nutrient-dense value. Okay, so what about tasting it? Oh my goodness. I'm not going to do you wrong. I'm not going to do you wrong. So I want a little bit of that spinach. I want a little bit of that quinoa because it's got that alkaline sauce in that, garlic sauce in there. Hint, hint, no garlics in that sauce. It's just the name for it so people can become familiar for it when you're looking for a replacement for garlic. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. So much flavor. This right here is the bomb. I'm gonna get one more. I want to get a mushroom and some pepper. This is something else. It is really, really good. Organic chef.
Wrapping up with Naya before we leave.
Give up. The sacrifice is worth it. To give up pain, to give up dis-ease.
I
it's
like
worth
that.
it.
Let's back up just 1 second.
Sure.
Did you hear what she said? You are worth it. The sacrifice is worth it. It's about you. You know, you have to be committed to your success for you. It's all about you, boo. It's all about you.
Exactly. Exactly. And that, even though it may be scary, be empowered. It's scary to think that you're the creator of the moment that you're in because what if I fail? But you know what? There's a safety net built in for that too. Try again.
Absolutely.
Try again. Never give up on yourself and the things that you want to give, not just to yourself, because we have to give service to the world. If you think you're out here walking through the rain by yourself, nah, somebody's looking out the window at you. Somebody who hasn't had the courage to get off that couch. Somebody who doesn't know.
Absolutely.
And pardon my emotions, but I say all the time, you never know whose day you can change for the better because they saw you. You might be in the rain. It might be hard. You might feel like you're overweight, you're tired, ain't nothing. It's okay. Keep walking. Because there's somebody who's looking at you. They don't have the courage yet. But one day they're going to say, hey, let me tell you this story. I'm going to get off this phone because I done started crying.
My sister, it's all good. It's, you know, I encourage the support that you give because these things are important amongst us people. And, you know, we as a people, especially in the African American community, we need to support each other more than what we do.
Amen.
I think we've spent a lifetime of tearing each other down and not building each other up.
Amen.
Definitely have to support one another and help each other to be successful in life. So never apologize for giving people inspirational energy that they need, because anything that comes from the heart is where it's at, man. You know, we need to dig down deep, you know, to save the humanity for all of us. And it takes moments like that we can see a little bit of hope when somebody shares and they're honest and they're not trying to fake the funk and they're being real, you know, because I think that's what people relate to, being real. These are real talk, real conversations, and real things that affect our everyday lives.
Mm.
And I, for one, couldn't be more proud of you and the things that you contribute to help people, giving selflessly of your time, taking the time out to do all the studies, and then freely sharing what you know and your information with anyone who gives you an ear for something that will help them in the long run. Because in the world we live in, nothing ain't free.
Well, Chef Kathy, I can tell you this. The truth is, the truth stand up by itself.
Yes, it
It'll
does.
stand. It don't care how long it takes for everything to be affirmed. You can count and recount, but every time you count the truth, it stand up for itself.
Oh, I
So
hear you talking.
all I can share with you is the truth of what I know, the truth of what I've seen, and my absolute, absolute faith that if you never give up, you will get wherever you're going. Just remember to enjoy the journey.
A great call, great Zoom class. I appreciate your expertise. And I'm telling you guys out there, because I'll be posting this, this is going to be in my videos. Go look up the page. Go look up the page. Sugar Addict Rehab. Sugar
Yes.
Addict Rehab.
Well, you can look me up, Sugar Addict Rehab or 28-day Sugar Addict Rehab.
28-day Addict Sugar Rehab. Stay tuned for the book. My girl's got recipes coming out. So this is real. This is really happening in real time. She's got great advice, awesome recipes. She's done the research. She's done the work. She's done the studying. She can back it up. So look out for her. She's on YouTube. She's on Facebook. I believe you have a Twitter or LinkedIn account as well.
Yes, ma'am. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, actually. Not so much YouTube.
Okay.
Most of the videos I post at
Not yet.
28 Days Sugar Rehab on Facebook.
And please, before we close, tell them your title, please.
I am known as Naya Bay. I am a clinical nutritionist and holistic healthcare practitioner. I am also a cybersecurity officer. So I am Naya Bay, and I'm so glad to talk with you anytime. Again, visit me at 28 Day Sugar Addict Rehab. I'm on Facebook. You can Twitter with me. But I hope most of all I get to talk with you more.
Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
Your blessing, sharing your knowledge, a wealth of information on nutrition and eating healthy, sharing some insight on food processing and food in general in this industry for us as far as consumers. And have a blessed day. We will talk soon. And
My pleasure. Take care and good night.
yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Well, it's about that time. Our show's coming to a close.
For coming in my kitchen and enjoying some time with me. I hope you took away some helpful things to start off your new year and to live much healthier and to live a healthy living lifestyle for yourself and your family. From my kitchen, organically, this organic chef.